as we can see guys, the price of Bitcoin has reached the price objective from this ascending broadening wedge. But the question here is, will the price hold this support which you have around 21,600, 21,500, or is it going to continue this downtrend towards 20,000 range before choosing a trend duration? Because yesterday on my video I made it very clear for you guys, in the medium short term there might be some sort of a relief rally type of scenario, because the price here parallelly was forming this Wyckoff's distribution schematic events and phases. Because according to these events and phases, we can see very clearly the price of Bitcoin right now could be around this phase E, and in phase E I showed you there might be a move in here in this manner. I mean, price showing this relief rally right before continuing this downturn, and we are also expecting a very similar movement to play out in price action of Bitcoin. I mean, some relief rally here in the medium short term before again continuing this rally here to the downside towards 20,000 support area. And now you can see if this is going to play out guys, the relief rally type of scenario here in the medium short term, it would make a lot of sense. Why? Because if you look at this price structure here in a very simple way, what we can do, we can simply add this falling trend line here and another falling trend line to the upside. So now if we look at this price structure here in this manner, you can see the price of Bitcoin here could be forming this so-called a descending broadening wedge, which is considered as a bullish scenario. But in our case, since the price of Bitcoin is still struggling to continue this uptrend even after finding support from this lower line area, because in the past price action you can see the lower line has acted as a strong line of support, and after that we have seen a relief rally before price broke to the downside here. Similar scenario, a relief rally before price started breaking it to the downside. So in our case, if that is going to happen, then we will be forming this perfect Wyckoff's distribution schematic where we would see a relief rally before price again showing another bearish continuation here in this manner, because we are still expecting after some range bound, after some relief rally in the medium short term, the price of Bitcoin could be getting gravitated towards the next area of confluence, which in our case is around 21,000 to 20,000 range before deciding what to do next. Because we know, not just only because of this descending broadening wedge, even if you look at this price structure here in a very simple way guys, what I'm going to do, I am going to use this parallel channel and place it here. Because if you look at this price structure and if you look at this parallel channel, you can see the price of Bitcoin in the medium short term could be forming this bullish pattern. This here looks like a bull flag type of formation. So if this upper line resistance which you have around 21,700 gets flipped into proper support, then expect this rally here to continue. Yes guys, the price in that case could be continue this impulsiveness here in this manner, again approaching around this 21,900, 22,000 range before showing another movement here in this manner. The reason why we are still expecting the price to show some relief rally and then again continue here to the downside is because we know guys, we know the price of Bitcoin is also forming this uptrend reversal pattern. Yes, this is known as rising wedge. Rising wedge is considered as a bearish scenario. In our case, according to this rising wedge, the price objective is somewhere between 20,800, 20,900 to 21,000 range. So in this case, the target is still open, and we also know a movement which I just showed you, right? A relief rally here in this manner, a relief rally before breaking it to the downside. So we are also expecting a very similar scenario to play out here after some relief rally, price getting attracted towards this price objective from this uptrend reversal pattern, which is known as rising wedge. And now guys, now let's also look at this one scenario which is pointing us, hey, it might be too early to call for this reversal around 20,000 to 21,000 range. Why? Because in our case right now, we are still holding the support from this 30-week moving average. Yes guys, this 30-week moving average is considered as our support here in the medium short term, because just like as shown here in an example, you can see the price after some bullishness, comes back to retest the support from this 30-week moving average before again continue this impulsiveness. And if that is going to happen, we are more than happy to see that. In that case, you can see the price could be getting attracted towards the upper line, which could bring us again around 22,700, 22,800 before deciding what to do next. So that's why, guys, that's why, as you can see, the price needs to hold this support line if we are expecting this relief rally type of scenario to play out from here on. I mean, the 21,600 support must hold the price, because that's also the exact support from this 30-week moving average, and also the support from this lower line area from this descending broadening wedge. And now what we are going to do, we are also going to look at crypto Anup bottom indicator. So if you look at this bottom indicator, you can see, guys, I have showed you plenty of time in the past price action. We have found out whenever the price of Bitcoin has bottomed, or whenever the price of Bitcoin has started this mark of phase in this manner, what has happened before that, this bottom indicator has given us a confirmation. I mean, if we look at this ATR normalized and William percentage error, whenever, guys, whenever we see this ATR normalized above 95, and at the same time, right, at the same time, this William percentage error around minus 95, that is when we get this confirmation. Maybe around that area, the market might have bottom. And if you simply follow this vertical trend line, this green line, you can see after this bottom indication from this indicator, we started heading here to the upside. And again, during this downtrend from 2017 till 2018, when the trend was clearly in a downtrend, this indicator remained quiet. But when we had this free fall where the price got attracted towards this 3,400, 3,500 range, that is exactly when this indicator here to the downside started flashing bottom signal. Yes, after this bottom signal, you can see the market dipped even lower. But what happened after that? After some range bound, it started showing this impulsiveness. Also, if you look at this example here from 2019 till 2020, during this downtrend, you can see this indicator remained quiet. But when we had this black swan event, that's exactly when this indicator pointed, hey, maybe this 3,000, 4,000 is the bottom for Bitcoin, and now we could be starting this impulsiveness. And after confirmation from this indicator, you can see the price of Bitcoin also started this impulsive movement. And here in 2021, a very similar scenario unfolded. Price of Bitcoin, after reaching around this 64, 65,000 range, started showing this weakness. But when we had this free fall, when the price came around this 28, 29,000 range, this indicator flashed us a bottom signal. And exactly right after that, you can see the price started showing this consolidation, even had a small pullback before again continuing this uptrend, before again making a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And now if we look at this indicator, if we look at this price action, this indicator, the bottom indicator, is still very much quiet since 2021. Yes, guys, since 2021, this indicator is remaining very, very quiet. So what we want, we need a confirmation from this ATR normalized and William percentage error. So if we are going to see this ATR normalized approaching above plus 95, and at the same time this William percentage error around minus 95, that is when we get this confirmation, and that will also indicate the market could be preparing itself for this new uptrend here like this. But for now, since this indicator is remaining quiet, we have to be careful, because it's also indicating maybe the worst is yet to come. So I'm just warning you guys in that case. But we also know in a bigger picture, the market was still inside this capitulation phase. This is also crypto capitulation indicator. You can see this indicator in a monthly time frame, in a bigger frame, has showed that whenever the market has prepared itself for this new uptrend, we have overcome some key line of resistance first. For example, if you look at this from 2014 till 2015, when we were clearly in a downtrend, this long-term resistance line was rejecting the price. Each and every attempt to break above it, you can see we got rejected. After that, the price also started heading it to the downside. But when we found support above this 200 moving average, when we broke out of this long-term resistance line, we started heading it to the upside, ending this capitulation phase. And after that, you can see what happened with price action. We started this new uptrend here. Another similar scenario unfolded in 2017, 2018 as well. Price was clearly in a downtrend, also getting rejection from this long-term resistance line. But when we found support above 200 moving average and also above this long-term resistance line, we ended the capitulation phase. And after that, you can see we've still had some shakeout. Please do not forget, this was a black swan event. But after that, the price started showing this impulsiveness. So in our case, if you look at this current scenario, the price of Bitcoin is still getting rejected around this long-term resistance line. We are also below 200 weekly moving average. So what we need here, we need the price of Bitcoin to break out of this long-term resistance line and also find support above 200 moving average, because by doing that we are going to end this capitulation phase, and price after that could be preparing itself for this new markup phase. Because we know, if you have any doubt, simply just zoom out. Why? Because you can see in the past price action in history, after the halving, right after Bitcoin halving, the market has started with this actual markup phase type of scenario. For example, 2012, after this first halving, the market started showing this bullishness. But when we reached the top, when we got exhausted and started showing this bearishness, what unfolded after reaching the bottom? The price started showing this accumulation phase, or so-called a capitulation phase. After ending this capitulation phase, after the next Bitcoin halving, you can see the price started showing this bullishness, just like here from the past price action. Again, impulsive movement, corrective movement, accumulation phase or so-called capitulation phase, next Bitcoin halving, another impulsive movement. And same scenario is also expected to unfollow here in current Bitcoin price action. Yes guys, we just talked about this capitulation phase, which is still ongoing. So in our case, if that is going to continue, then we know the price of Bitcoin could be preparing itself for this next impulsive movement before entering this fourth halving. Yes, so that's why guys, until 2024 the market could be volatile, but we know in a bigger picture the price of Bitcoin has always continued this uptrend here in this manner. So if you have any doubt, just simply zoom out. So these were some of the quick update that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please guys, please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.